some time now we have talked about seasons. We discussed your marriage, and the festive season. So today we want to affirm that we have seasons. There are different types of seasons, and seasons have characteristics. And when something functions within a given period of time, we say that that thing is seasonal. Yes, that thing is seasonal. That means the thing is relevant, the thing is useful, the thing is of use, the thing is applicable, the thing is available within a specific given period of time. If you look at scriptures, you know that Bible most times talks about times and seasons. Times and seasons. So there are things that happen in given seasons. In other seasons, those things will not happen. As we are now, some of us are in winter, some of us are enjoying dry season, some are in rainy season. Seasons are seasons, and seasons are there every time. That is why today in your family this week, we are looking at the seasonal marriages. Here we are looking at marriages that are controlled by seasons. And when we talk about season, we are looking at things that are controlled, things that are influenced by specificity of a given period of time, by specific period of time. And at that, we are looking at things that are available, things that are limited within a period of time. Yes, things that are obtainable, things that are relevant. Okay, yes, there are things that are available in dry season. There are things that always come up in dry season. There are things too that you cannot pray away during rainy season. You cannot come and say during rainy season, let it not rain. At the peak of rainy season, you cannot say no, rain will not fall within 1 month. If it happens, that means that one is a miracle based on what you want. But what we are saying is that if it is in rainy season, rain will be there. It will be raining from time to time. People will hardly have drought. People will hardly stay without having water. You find it difficult to see dry ground everywhere all the time, because the season is season of rain, and everywhere will likely be wet. All right. And in dry season, if it rains in dry season, people say, wow, oh, it rains. It becomes something different from the normal occurrence. That is why we are looking at marriages that are seasonal, marriages that are based on seasons. We call them seasonal marriages. Okay, now what is our point here? We are in a particular season right now. As we discussed 2 Sundays ago, we said that we are in festive season when we have so many celebrations, when we have crowd, when we have too many activities, when we are getting concerned about fashion, about food and drinks, about events. People will be traveling, and we talked about some dangerous things that may be happening because of the season we are in now. Okay, yes, there are things that are obtainable in this season. And if things are obtainable in a given period of time, we can say that those things are available because of the season we are in. So now we are looking at marriages that are based on season. We are only trying to say that there are marriages that thrive, marriages that are contracted, marriages that are initiated, marriages that are gone into because of the given season. That is what we want to look at now. So this is your family this week with Precious Caleb. I'm your friend, and I'm here because I would like your relationship to work. I want your marriage to be sweet, and I want your home to be peaceful. And today we want to check if the marriages we are into are seasonal marriages, whether the relationship we are into are built or established or are contracted based on season. Okay, yes, whether our homes operate based on seasons. Okay, all right, let's look at it this way, because we're going to race through this because of our time. All right, so we want to look at this. There are things that seasons are known for. Seasons are limited by time. If it's rainy season, we expect the rainy season to last till a particular time. When it gets to that time, we don't expect rain to be there all the time. That means that seasons are controlled by time. In seasons, there are lots and lots of limitations. There are things that you don't expect. There are things that you don't look out for. There are things you don't hope to have in a particular season. In season 2, we have so many possibilities. We have possibilities. Like when we're talking about the festive season, we say that there are possibilities of some health crisis in festive season because of some people's health histories, health conditions. There are gonna be some health issues that will likely occur because of the season we are in. That means in each season there are possibilities. The possibilities could be in the negative. The possibilities can as well be in the positive. So in talking about season, we say that the possibilities should be part of what's obtainable in seasons. Yes. But let's look at it this way. Marriage, if marriage is seasonal, that means we are confining marriage to time. We are confining marriage to mood. We are confining marriage to limitations. We are confining marriage to possibilities. That means when the mood is right, the marriage is right. When the mood is not good, the marriage will not be good. Now, if we are looking at marriage as per time, that means when time is good, in quote, that means when the time favors the pockets, the finance of people in the marriage, when time favors the health of those in marriage, when time favors the emotions of those in marriage, when time favors those in marriage within that time, then the marriage is based on the season. Now, if we look at marriage based on limitations, because limitation is one of the things that characterizes seasons. So if we look at marriages and we place marriages on limitations, then there are some things that may never happen in a marriage, because that marriage will be confined, will be constrained, will suffer restrictions. Are you following me? Then if we look at marriage as being seasonal, we'll look at marriage that will enjoy only things that are possible at a given period of time. As it is right now, we are in a festive season. And in a festive season, there are so many activities. Maybe you have started witnessing some displays of flamboyancy. There will be people that will be packaging themselves well, things will be looking fine. People will be dressing better now. People will be giving to fashion. People will be giving to looking good, presenting themselves well. It's festive season and, you just have to be good. You don't know the person you run into. You don't know the person you meet. You don't know those that will be coming back and those that will, be looking out for some. So in festive season, like the season we are in now, there will be too many lies being projected to confuse people, to deceive people, to get the gullible. Okay, so when in a particular season you look out for things that normally happen, like in this festive season, I say that there'll be lots of packaging, there'll be lots of pseudo presentations, there'll be lots of make believe and makeshifts. There'll be lots of trying to be what one is not. In this festive season, you have people that will maybe over there, they are doing many jobs, horrible things, just to make some money. By the time they come back during festive season, they'll be acting as if they don't even go to convenience. They'll be acting as if they've never seen this, they've never seen that. When you don't clean the house very well, they'll be shouting everywhere is dirty, but over there it could be that they are packing some dirty stuff. So in festive season, people will be coming from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, different parts of the state. You'll be seeing new faces and new faces, and people will likely present themselves as what they are not. That means you'll be encountering lots of lies. You'll be seeing fake displays. So if the marriage is built on what is going to be made available, what is going to be made relevant, what is going to be made to be in a good mood, what is going to be released within the time frame, then that marriage is based on the season. That means if anything apart from what is seen at this period comes up after now, the marriage is heading the rocks. If the marriage is built based on the mood people are in right now, if the marriage is initiated, if the marriage is built, if the marriage is established based on what will be shown now, what people will be seeing now, people will likely go into marriages that are built on lies. Parents, I like to plead with you not to drag your daughters, not to compel your sons or those that are related to you to start choosing marriage partners now. Because in this season, yes, it's possible for people to meet the right people now, but don't compel them. Don't make them to think that this is the best time to make the choices. Yes, because everybody is flowing at the tempo of the season. Majority of the people around now are acting, are showing themselves based on the season. And if you make the choice of a marriage partner now, just because of now, this season will pass. And when this season has passed, another season will come. Will you still hold on to that marriage when this particular season has passed? I told you I'm going to race through our topic today. It's going to be a short one, but it will be like a warning. It will be an eye-opener to everybody. This is your family this week with Precious Caleb, and today we are looking at seasonal marriage. All right. During courtship, people open up to the person they want to marry or the person that want to marry them, and they talk about so many things. Talk about their dreams. Sometimes they talk about their past. They talk about what they hope to become. They talk about their challenges. They talk about how, things are around them. Yes, because they believe that the past is gone. This is how it is now, and they hope to step into another season, another phase of life. Are you following me? Now, as people are getting married, some don't go into marriage being futuristic. Some go into marriage based on the present situation. The young man has money now. The young lady is so beautiful. The young lady is educated. She can speak English fluently. The young man knows how he's romantic. The young man can dress well. They focus on the now. This is the season when things are moving smoothly, when things are right, when things are seemingly okay, when the mood is good. Yes, some will base their marriage on what they are seeing now. But have you noticed that sometimes in some religious groups, when people are exchanging vows unto marriage, some will say for better, for worse. I know there are some sects that will say no, they will not say for better, for worse, because they don't want worse. Good and fine. Thank God for you. I like your faith. But I would like you to have it in mind that Jesus never lied to us about the possibility of challenges. He even said it that in this world you will have tribulation. He said that you'll be persecuted. He said that there will be challenges. You understand? Even when you go through scriptures, there was never a time God gave us assurance that we will not have any problem. In fact, Jesus is coming to rapture a glorious church, a triumphant church. That means a church that has passed through some challenges. It simply means that the possibility of challenges coming up in marriages are there. And challenges or conflicts, disappointments, shocks, or some unexpected occurrences may be witnessed in marriages. So what do? You don't base your marriage on what you are seeing now. You need to stretch forth and imagine a future and arrest the future now. You should look into the future and tell yourself, what if along the line? It doesn't mean that you don't have faith. You are only being wise. Jesus said, be as wise as serpents, but be as gentle as dove. It simply means that you are expected to think beyond the present. You're supposed to imagine a possibility that may not be favorable. Then the wisdom of God is there to help you out. That is why the grace of God is there. So if your marriage is based on seasons and you are not prepared for seasons, when the season you don't like comes up, the Bible said at that time he will say, I don't have pleasure in this. But you should grow your mind in marriage beyond the available season that is okay with you, and prepare for any season that may not be favorable, maybe financially, maybe emotionally, sometimes physiologically, psychologically. Are you getting me? Even spiritually, environmentally, socially. You tell yourself there could be some areas that may not be so smooth for me in this marriage, but I don't want to build my marriage based on this season I'm looking at. I'm rather looking into the season I am not seeing right now physically, but in my mind I know that there is a possibility of such seasons coming up. But because I'm a child of God, but because I know better than my enemies, I am wiser than my enemies, I am wiser than the present situation, I prepare ahead of time. The Bible says that you should be mindful of time, because the days are evil. When Bible talks about redeeming the time because the days are evil, is it that the Bible is being negative? No, the Bible is being real to you. The Bible is being real to you. So my advice today, as we round off this, is that you should not allow your marriage to be rolling on season. If the season is good, oh, you're good to go. If the season is bad, you say you can't take it, you pack your things and start going. Or you say your marriage has ended. There are seasons that may not be favorable, that may not taste nice, that may not give you what you want. Yes, in marriage. But what are you supposed to do as I'm talking right now? Start putting some things down and start telling yourself that I am fully prepared to go into marriage, because this marriage is a covenant work. Yes, is a covenant work, and God that instituted marriage is well able to see me through. No matter what comes my way, my marriage will not be controlled by season. My marriage will be controlled by the word of God. My marriage will be controlled by my strong will to make this marriage happen. Yes, my marriage will be controlled by the Spirit of God. My marriage will be controlled and directed by the wisdom of God, not by the things I see. Because the things I see that make up seasons, they are temporal. They don't last forever. But the word of God lasts forever. And if you can keep speaking into your marriage, keep speaking into your future, keep speaking into your home, keep speaking into your relationship, tell your relationship, tell your marriage, tell your home that seasons will not dictate how your marriage will turn out, that you are fully prepared to face whatever that comes out of it. And in your preparation, you are declaring, you are insisting that the good will come out of it. Even when there is turbulence in the boat, there is always a way you can call peace to appear in that turbulence. You understand? Yes. You look at that turbulence in your marriage. You look at the turbulence in your relationship. You look at the turbulence in your home and say, peace, be still. Peace, be still. I knew that such a season will come, but I prepared myself ahead of time. I cannot be deceived by what I am seeing now. I can't be deceived by beautiful things happening around. I know that there may be time when the season will come with dryness, will come with non-availability of enough water. Yes, there may be a time when the season will come with flood, with water everywhere. There may be time the season will come with cold, will come with heat. But whatever it is that comes with the season, my marriage shall not be controlled by any season. Rather, my marriage will be controlled by the word of God, by the wisdom of God, will be controlled by the Spirit of God, and by my own will and my full determination to make the marriage work. It is your family this week with Precious Caleb, and today we are looking at seasonal marriages. That means marriages that are controlled by season. And we are saying in summary that you should not allow seasons to control your marriages. That your marriage should not be tagged seasonal marriage. That means the marriage that when it's good, we are happy. When things turn somehow, we say we will not do again. We start complaining, we start blaming anybody. No, we are rather prepared to go into this marriage. And in our preparation, we tell ourselves that there may be unfavorable occurrence in future, but we are well ahead of that unfavorable occurrence to make sure that every turbulence is brought to a peaceful landing. All right, so how do you handle this situation? Number one, have a determination in your heart that your marriage will come. That is that your marriage will work. That is number one. Have a determination in your heart that your marriage will not be based on times and seasons. Even when times and seasons come, your marriage will rather control the times and the seasons. That times and seasons will not control your marriage. Are you following me right now? This festive season will pass. After this festive season, we'll come to a point when people are trying to pay school fees, when people are trying to pay house rent, when people are struggling to pay bills, when people may need to go for medical checkups, when people will be writing exams, when people will be traveling out for programs, for things like that. So this season has passed. There is another season of realities, of demands and responsibilities. So if you base your marriage on the festivity around now, you may not be able to face what will be coming after this season. Another season is coming. Another season is coming. So tell yourself, I am determined. I am so determined that no matter the season that comes up, my marriage is going to work. My home will be peaceful and my relationship will make sense. Then in your determination, I would like you to put the next there is discipline. You have seen that there are seasons that will come to meet you in marriage, and you are so determined to stand against any offensive season. In that your determination, the next you do now is to discipline yourself. Discipline your company, discipline your exposure, discipline your finance, your spending, discipline your involvement, discipline your relationship, discipline your words, discipline what you hear, discipline what you come in contact with, discipline where you go to and things you get yourself involved in. You must discipline yourself. And in disciplining yourself, I'm saying that you should have a firm grip on what you allow yourself to go into, to be exposed into, to get to have access to you. You must learn to say no. I'm not called out for this. You must no. Yeah, others may, but no. For the sake of my marriage, no. All things are permissible, but not all are beneficial to me. So for my marriage, I'm gonna say no to this particular thing. That is you. adding discipline to your determination to ensure that your marriage will not be controlled by seasons. That when this season passes, when another season comes, your determination, supported by your discipline, will make your marriage to work. I tell you, there are challenges in marriage. Marriage is not free from challenges. And some of those challenges come season by season. But you will not be subjected to the dictates of a particular season. Rather, you will be the one to determine how the season will roll with your relationship, with your marriage, with your home. I hope I'm blessing somebody today. My name is Precious Caleb. I'm your friend. And today, in your family this week with Precious Caleb, we are looking at the seasonal marriages. All right, so for you to handle this well, I said, number one, you must be determined that your marriage will work. No matter where you're working, no matter what you are doing, no matter the environment you find yourself in, no matter the type of in-laws you have, no matter your financial status, no matter your health condition, no matter the attitude of your partner, it is left for you to say, the season when my partner was good 100% may have passed. My eyes are open now. I've seen that there are some things I didn't know about my partner when we were courting or when we married newly that I'm seeing now. I've seen those things, but I am determined that the season I've found myself in this marriage will not swallow my marriage. Rather, my marriage will swallow this season. That those that have been waiting to laugh at me, to laugh at my relationship, to laugh at my marriage, to laugh at my home, will wait forever and not have any reason to laugh. What am I saying? You'll be so determined to make it work. And I said number two is you discipline yourself. Discipline yourself. You know the Bible said that in the last days, many shall be forbidden to marry. I don't want to go to theological interpretation of it. I want to apply it to what is on ground. There are so many people that whatever they do may work, but when it comes to them getting married, the enemy will do lie, never will not get married. And if the person by error or by the grace of God escape and gets married, they will say never. It will not have peace in that marriage. Never. The marriage will not last. Never. Was I sleeping when this person got married? And now you have seen that is another season. Will you allow your enemy to succeed? Will you allow those that vow that your marriage will not last up to 10 years to succeed? Will you allow those that say that over their dead bodies will you have your 25th wedding anniversary? Will you allow those that went to junctions and make sacrifices? Will you allow those that went to mountains, those that entered seas, that crossed seas? Will you allow those that made sacrifices, that visited witch doctors, that went to satanic prayer houses to make decrees, to make incantations, to make pronouncements, to release words against your marriage? Will you allow them to win? Will you allow them to go and share testimony in the altar of wickedness because of what has happened to your marriage? No. The season that you see after now, or the season you're seeing now, tell that season that your marriage will not be controlled by it. Rather, that your marriage will swallow it. There are so many people that are married today that are still married, but it has not been easy. But they said that the enemy will not use them as a proverb. So they said at all costs that they must make the marriage to work. And that is what I want you to do today. There is nobody out there that does not have challenges in marriage. Anybody listening to me, anybody that is watching me right now, or anybody that has known me that can challenge this and say I've never had any marital issue, please come and tell me. Everybody has or has had one, two, or more challenges in marriage. But it is only those that were determined to put the enemy to shame, that were so determined to look at that turbulence and say, peace, be still. Yes, it's only those ones that said, we don't quit. We don't quit. We are fighters. We are watchmen. We make decrees and we watch our decrees come to pass. The Bible said, I will stand upon my watch and I will see what the Lord will say. How can you see what the Lord will say? That is meant for those that are determined to see the impossibilities, to see the supernatural, to see the extraordinary things happen. So for you, I want to tell you that seasons will come and go, but your marriage will stand. Your marriage will outlive different seasons. If only you be so determined to have this and you discipline yourself. I say number 2 is that you must discipline yourself. There are some relationships that you know that they are creating trouble for you and your marriage. You will be acting like you don't know Jesus for you to allow such relationships to continue. Because some people are fighting the enemies of their marriages, but they are carrying weapons and giving the enemies of their marriages the weapons they should have used to fight their enemies. They will carry the weapons and give their enemies and still come and say, I am fighting my enemies. It is lack of discipline. You know what doesn't work well in your marriage? You just know it. And your enemies are watching. They are excited to see you fail. But you'll be so careless. So careless. In that season, when the enemy is waiting for you to fail, you just be so careless and allow things to be happening anyhow. Anywhere you feel like going to, you go. When you want to come back, you come back. Anything you feel like eating, you eat. Money comes into your hands, you spend it the way you want. You are married, but you are a single married man, or a married single man, or a married single woman, or a single married woman. Two of them cannot mix. We can't manage such oxymoron. If you're married, be married. If you're not married, remain single till you get married. You know, I've even said it before. There are some people that are not married, but they are not single. When God is looking for those that are single, He will see people around them say, "Oh, these ones are not single." But angel will say, "But they are not married." Say, "But I want to." But they are not single. That, by the way. So you must discipline yourself. Draw a line on things you cannot go into, on relationships you cannot keep, on places you must not visit. Status has changed now. Now you are in a relationship. Now you are married. Now you are in a home. You mind those that work with you. Those that are telling you that nonsense, I cannot take it, I cannot take it. You go and follow them. You cannot take it, you cannot take it. You don't know that they are lying, that they are taking it. Oh. They are taking it full dose. Oh. You come and be flexing your heart. I cannot take it, I cannot take it. You're not disciplining yourself. And in that season, if you don't apply discipline, you are the one damaging your marriage, damaging your home, damaging your relationship. All right, looking at discipline, the next I want to tell you now is that you must mind your direction. You're determined, you have discipline, then please mind your direction. There are some that are determined that their marriage will come. There are some that are trying to discipline themselves, but they don't care the direction they are going. No. You know, as you are trying to discipline yourself, you're trying to discipline your spending, your involvement, your exposure, but you notice that your marriage, your relationship is going in the direction of those you knew in the past that their marriages, their relationships did not work. You continue going in that direction. You don't talk too much. You don't go out. You don't mingle. You don't cheat on your partner. But you talk to your wife or your husband exactly the way your parents were talking to themselves, and their marriage is scattered. and you come to a place of prayer, you say, dear Lord, any power fighting my marriage, you are that power. You are that power. Because you are not watching your direction. You need to sit back sometimes and ask yourself, there are things I notice that I'm doing now. I said before that I wouldn't do those things, but I'm seeing that I'm doing them now. This direction, this direction, no. You change. Even if you cannot be going to Lagos from Onitsha. And instead of you to take through Asaba or other place and be going towards that side, you see yourself landing at Cameroon and you just be firing. You even come at enter boat and be firing. They ask you where you're going to, say you're going to Lagos. You better change direction. As you're traveling, you don't talk to people anyhow. You don't buy things. You discipline yourself. That you not spend your money too much. That it's not everything that buying. Good. And you are determined to go to Lagos, Abi. And on that your journey, you decided to discipline yourself that you not spend too much. When others are wasting money, you just hold your money. And when others want to step down and go, you just stay there. I'm going to Lagos. But I want to ask you, the direction you're going, is it really Lagos? There are so many things some of us desired in our hearts, but because we didn't watch our direction, we landed where we didn't purpose in our hearts to land. In this season, and in the season to come, and many other seasons to come, please be mindful of the direction your relationship is going, the direction your marriage is going to, the direction your home is going to. A young man is always around you. Please let him tell you the direction. That will not too much greeting they go. Let him make it clear to you. A sister is always buying clothes for you, buying underwears for you, sending money to you. You discipline yourself to collect just from her, not from everybody. But let the direction of that exchange of gifts or receiving of gifts or giving of gifts be made clear so that you know. Because it could be that the lady is buying those things for you because he noticed that you don't have good clothes. And tomorrow, when she tells you that somebody proposed to her, you get angry. Find out the direction of that relationship. Find out the direction of the marriage or the home. Are you getting me? There may be reason for some people being around you. As I am now, I have so many friends around me. I have plenty of friends around me. But in every relationship, in every friendship, each of the friendships I have has direction. We know where we don't go to. We know the direction we must maintain. We know how we manage our steering. We must not go to the left. We must not go to the right. We must not reverse, or we must maintain where we are going to. If there is any attempt for diversion, then I'll raise alarm and say, no, I know my direction. So in this season and in the seasons to come, please make sure that you have defined goals in that relationship, in your marriage, and in your home. Let it be that there is direction in your determination, joined with discipline. Please have direction. If you don't have direction, if you're directionless, you just achieve nothing but chaos. You achieve nothing but confusion. You achieve nothing but depression, loss, damage, emotional suicide. That's what you meant. So make sure that you know the direction, you define the direction, so that he that reads the direction will run with it and run in that direction. I hope I'm blessing somebody now. My name is Precious Caleb and I'm your friend. And today in Your Family This Week with Precious Caleb, we are looking at the seasonal marriages that flow by seasons. And we are saying that our marriages should not flow by seasons. Rather, our marriages should control seasons. And to make that happen, we must have determination, we must have decision, discipline, and we must have direction. All right, and as we try to maintain our direction, let it be that your direction is trying to hit a particular destination. There are some that have direction. They say, yes, they are going to the north. But they are not specific. They are not specific in their destination. They are just moving. They are just going. They are just going. but they can't be specific in that relationship. Now you have seen that the direction of that is leading to marriage. Now come and be specific, because you're going to meet seasons in that marriage. You're going to meet seasons in that relationship, even in that home. Now, what are we looking at? Let's be specific. We want to get married. When? While we are still in school, or after we have left school. Okay, during youth service or after youth service, or would like to get married when I'm doing my masters or when I've secured a job. Let's be specific. Let this our direction hit a particular destination, so that we will not be roaming. Say we are going to the north, we are going to the south. That is good direction, because if you know you're going to the south, when your vehicle is going to the north, you say no, we are going to the south. Now, but when you get to the south, south is broad. Where is your destination? That is where being specific comes in. So in this season and in seasons to come, let's try and be specific. Let's try and note our destination in this our journey in relationships, in marriage, and in homes. Yes. So that no matter the season we meet, we'll tell ourselves, in all, this is the exact place we want to get to. We want to get married. We want to stay married. We want to remain married. Or want to stay married for 10 years. Or 20 years. Or 50 years. Or want to remain married till death will separate us. And that's the best. In this our marriage, we want to have children. We want to have children early, or we want to have children when we have reached 30s or 40s or 50s. We want to have retirement children, or we don't want to have, we want to have male children, or we want to have any number of children God gives us, not more than 2, not more than 3. You understand? If God gives us 2, fine, we take. If He gives us 3, fine. But immediately we get to 4, we are done, we are okay, or 2. Let's be specific. Let us know the particular destination we are hitting. So that when we are praying, we will not just open our mouth and just be praying without direction. You see, in this season and in seasons to come, in our relationships, in our marriages, in our homes, whatever is it that we are going to see, whatever it is that we are going to confront, whatever it is that we are going to bring under the word of God, we must be specific in what we want. You know, I don't know about you, but I tell people, I don't do verbal praying. As I pray, oh God, bless me, bless me, bless me, enlarge my cause. Yes, it's good though, but a time will come, I will be specific in the areas of my coast I would like God to enlarge. Is it in my ministry? Is it in the anointing of God upon my life? Is it in the call of God? Is it in the prophetic angle? Is it in the teaching grace? Is it in my relationship with people? Is it in my ability to witness Christ one-on-one? Is it in my ability to interact with people? Is it in my using beautiful words to draw people close to me and introduce them to Christ? I must try and be specific. So in my having determination, in my adding discipline to it, in my knowing my direction, I must also note the destination. That is the particular spot I want to hit. And I call that one the control spot. That is my target. Focal points. I did a talk on focal point the other time. The focal point is that thing that controls every other activity. Even in a vehicle, in a relationship, in a marriage, there is always a focal point. So in this season and in seasons to come, find out the particular target you have. You want to produce children that will love the Lord, or you want to produce children that the society will train for you, or you like to, in this marriage, you want it that if children come, fine. If they don't come, fine. Now I tell you, before we got married, okay, let me tell you, before we got married, specifically we desired to have twins. Yes, we desired to have twins. I think most times I need to be sharing my personal experience so that you, people listening to me, will know that things we are talking about are practical. Before we got married, if you go through some of our pictures when we are courting, you see that in those days, of course, my husband was already a pastor then. You know, after service, I'll come visiting. I'll come to the church to visit. After service, we'll carry people's children, about 2 different children of the same age. We'll sit down. He will carry one, I will carry one, and we'll bring a photographer in church to come and snap us. We're focusing on having twins. We were focusing on it. It did not overwhelm us, but deep down in our hearts, it was a desire, and it was something like a sport. So when eventually God brought twins for us, we said, oh, we desired it specifically, and we asked God for it. Sometimes people in their marriages, they just stay like that. They don't bother being specific to God. Not that in your being specific that God must do it. But it is right for you to be specific, so that when it happens, you remember that God answered that one. And if God does not do it exactly the way you want, you know that the ways of God are higher than our ways. There may be a reason why God didn't do it exactly like that. When we were about getting married, we were so young. Some of you must have seen our pictures, that people were wondering what this young pastor and this sister were going into marriage for. So one man mistakenly said, if not that we know you people now, would have said that maybe you people have done something that you were trying to cover pregnancy. We laughed. Then we went one day, one of the days, me and my husband, then we used to fast and pray. We'll come to church, we'll kabash, we'll pray. We held our hands, we pray and say, Father, people are suspecting that our desire to get married is because we have done something. We have had carnal knowledge of ourselves that maybe I was pregnant. Dear Lord, disappoint them, surprise them that in 2 years of our marriage, we will not be pregnant. They won't see pregnancy, we will not have baby. In our childish mind, we prayed specifically, and men and brethren, it happened. It was when 2 years passed, I will say, God, you do. God will say 2 years. I'm sure but God will be laughing. For us to know the power in prayers prayed. But with so many things that came up, the 5th year, God decided to break the genes. The 6th year, our first child came. What am I trying to say? In this season and in seasons to come, please, I've given you things to work with. Determination, discipline, have direction. Now the 4th one is, in that your direction, have a destination. Have a particular target you have. You see what this thing will do for you? It will help you to soar above any season that comes. The season of abundance, you have focus. The season of lack and want, you have focus. St. Paul said, I'm used to all seasons. Being in plenty, being in lack, but the grace of God is always sufficient. So if you don't prepare yourself for different seasons, when any season that is not favorable to you comes up, you feel like saying, I no do again. You will do. Some of us that have been doing since, like we celebrated last week, our 24th wedding anniversary. You think we didn't have times when we said, what am I even doing? But we were so determined to do. And we said, here we are doing, we'll do. And we decided to discipline ourselves to be doing. We decided to have direction in that our doing. And we are so determined to hit our destination. We may not tell you, but we have our target. And God is helping us. So that God that is helping us can as well help you. So that your marriage will not be controlled by seasons. Young lady, your husband may not have plenty money all the time. Young man, your wife may not have smooth face or pointed breasts all the time. A time will come, the breast will fall. The tummy will come out. No matter the number of times she does tummy trimming exercise. No matter the number of times, no matter the type of cream she uses, no matter the pills she uses, she will never remain like she used to be. There must be changes. That is another season that she has stepped into. And if you are not prepared for that season, you will run into trouble of going into adultery. trying to see those that look like. And there is nowhere in this world you can ever see any woman that is like your wife. Never. Quote me. Never. It is only your wife that is for you. Other people, they will just be hanging. There are things that your wife can take that any other person there cannot take. So what do? Focus. Focus. And outlive seasons that come to meet your marriage. Let your marriage rather swallow seasons that come. This festive season will soon pass. Responsibility awareness season will come. The seasons when bills will start piling. The seasons of settling debts and paying so many things will come. Yes, the seasons of running around to check health status will come. And if you're not prepared for that season or for those seasons, you'll begin to find reasons to regret marriage. But I tell you, marriage is one of the beautiful gifts God gave mankind. And if you see marriage as good gift from God, you value it, you cherish it, you handle it with care, and God will be proud of you. The fifth point I have for you here, after I've told you about determination, discipline, maintaining direction, and hitting destination, the next is that you must be dogged, doggedly rugged, brutally with sagacity in prayer. Hey, I tell you, see, marriage doesn't really excite your enemies. Your marriage does not excite your enemies. Even your enemies that are friendly to you, that you even share prayer points with. Your marriage does not excite them. Just know it. Okay. I hope it has entered. Your marriage does not make your enemies happy. Your marriage being successful, your relationship working, your home being peaceful is not the type of testimony your enemies will want to share. And I say that some of those enemies are not even the ones that have identified themselves with ID card, with laminated paper, that they are your enemies. Even those that are very close to you, some that you even share prayer points with, some that you even confide in, they are friendly, but you don't know that they are your enemies. Have I ever told you that most times it takes courage for your closest friend to endure your success, including your success in marriage? So when you have awareness of this, when you're conscious of this reality, you'll be so doggedly committed, rugged in your place of prayer. Place of prayer. I tell people, anything you like, try with me. But just be mindful of the fact that you cannot take prayer away from me. And if you offend me and I bring you in my place of prayer, you will hear voice. You will feel it. Oh, you can insult me. Oh, you can call me names. Oh, you can say anything you like. But what you cannot take from me is me saying in Jesus' name. If I mention your name as my prayer point, God answers my prayer. What am I trying to say? No matter how busy you are, no matter how smooth your marriage is, no matter how turbulent your marriage is, you see, doggedness with ruggedity, sagacity. In fact, when there is need, add brutality in prayer. I beg. That is where it all lies. There are things that happen in marriage that you can't even give explanations to. There was a time we did a program, we called that one Marriage by Might. And in that talk show, we tried to look at some things that I believe that when somebody does, how somebody looks, when somebody acquires, or the marriage will work. But those things are just by might. Marriage is not by might. There is an aspect that we do physically, but there is an aspect that the physical relevance, physical inclusion, physical introduction, physical involvement may never have a hand in. But that time you kabash, that time you even speak in an unknown tongue over an unknown matter that you don't have explanation for. You don't have explanation for. You don't even know what to do about. No matter what you see around you, please, when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your marriage, when it comes to your home, you see prayer, dogged prayer, that if it means to lock yourself up, because there are so many that are waiting to laugh at you. I hope you know. There are many that are having access to your pictures online. There are so many people that are using objects and are tying things around objects they think that the objects represent you. There are so many people that are calling your name on their altars of wickedness every day. I'm telling you out of experience. Some of us, we are not as calm as we look. That is why sometimes when we talk rough, after talking tough and rough, we quechiri, because we have a dogged seat where we trash things. Even when we make mistakes, we go there, we say, Baba, anya emela ka ojo. But in agana tufu anya tufu. God will look at us and laugh, say, we kabash, and God will do things. Some of us, if I tell you what prayer is doing for us, you wake up and pray. Some pray only when things go bad, only when season turns sour. When the season is smooth and sweet, they don't pray. It is the prayer you pray when things seem to be all right that may likely wait for you when things turn sour. Jesus said, if it's like this in rainy season, how will it be in dry season? That means in rainy season, you make preparation for dry season. Or in dry season, you make preparation for rainy season. That is why he said that men ought to pray and not faint. And by extension, in the epistles, the Bible says that men should pray without ceasing. And you, the only time you want to pray in your marriage, the only time you want to pray in your relationship, the only time you want to pray in your home is when somebody is having crisis, somebody is having health issues, somebody is having marital buzzballs. No! Accumulate prayer. I stay. Oh, maybe I'll tell you. Let me give you an idea. As I'm talking to you right now, I've fast forwarded prayers to years ahead of me. You can do that. You can stay like this and speak into 10, 12 years to come. Yes. When Jesus was praying, he said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Jesus was being futuristic. So some people, in their marriages, in their prayers, they are not futuristic. They just wake up and say, oh Lord, give us this day our daily bread. They will forget, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. They don't remember that one. So I would like you to see prayer as one of the basic things that you need to manage all the seasons that may come the way of your marriage, the way of your home, the way of your relationship, so that seasons will not swallow them. Rather, they will swallow the seasons. My name is Precious Caleb. I'm your friend. And today, in your family this week with Precious Caleb, by the grace of God, we just discussed the seasonal marriages. And in summary, we said that seasons are limited by time. Seasons are characterized by possibilities, by mood, different moods. Yes. And most times, seasons come and seasons go. But when it comes to marriage, marriage should outlive seasons. Like now, we are in festive season. It is a season, and after now, another season will come. But if you build your marriage, if you initiate your marriage, or you want to establish your marriage based on the season you're having now, when the next season or other seasons that must come, it will become a problem. So what are you supposed to do? Have in mind that there are seasons that will come. Season of abundance, season of lack, season of joy, season of sorrow. Yes, so Even the Bible said it in Ecclesiastes that there is time for everything. That means there is season for everything. Season of being together, season of parting ways for some time. Yes, so you may have a job that will take you to a place for like few months or so. It's a season. And that season, when your wife or your husband is not around, how do you manage it? So there are seasons, there are times, there are occurrences, there are possibilities, there are events, there are things, there are happenings that will be coming. But will you allow those things to swallow your marriage? No. You will not build your marriage on those seasons. You rather let your marriage swallow the seasons. And how do you do that? Number one, have determination to make your marriage work. Number two, please discipline yourself. Learn to say no to some things and yes to some. Draw lines. Draw lines. Number three, please have direction. As you're determined to make it work, as you're trying to discipline yourself, please know where you're going to. So I said you may be determined to go to Lagos. And you discipline yourself that you must go to Lagos. Now, look at the direction you're going to. You have left that side. You've seen yourself in a ship going to Bakassi. That is not the direction. So what you need to do, turn, insist that you turn, or you come out from that ship and go and find the vehicle that is going to Lagos. Direction. And in going to Lagos, please, you must be so determined, backed with discipline, and knowing your direction. Please have destination. If you are going to Lagos, you cannot go and say where there is welcome to Lagos. You carry your bag, say vehicle, leave me, I've reached Lagos. No, there must be a particular place you are going to. That is what I said. In that your relationship, in your marriage, your home, have a destination, have a particular target you want to hit. And in that, please, in that your determination, in that your destination you want to hit, do not forget the doggedness and the ruggedity and brutality and the relevance of this thing called prayer. Because so many things that are not seen are there, hovering around our marriages, our relationships and homes. But it is in prayer that we enter a realm that controls the physical, and we ensure that the enemy does not cross a particular line. On this note, I'll be leaving you today, wishing you a beautiful season that will last all in favor of your relationship, in favor of your marriage, and in favor of your home. The Lord bless you. My name is Precious Caleb. I'm your friend. Until when next I come your way, don't forget that this is your family this week with Precious Caleb, an outreach arm of Family on Focus International. Family on Focus International is a fully registered NGO that is focusing on reaching out to the singles, the married, the separated, the divorced, and the widowed, because we want their relationships to work, we want their marriages to be sweet, we want their homes to be peaceful, and at that, we want same to become heaven on earth. The Lord bless you till when next I come your way. Don't forget that I love you. I want a relationship to work, your marriage to be sweet, and your home to be peaceful. See ya. See ya next time. God bless you. God bless you. God bless.